morning, students. Today we will focus on the shape of orbitals. As we have seen, atom consists of different orbit K, L, M, N, and this orbit consists of different orbital like S, P, D, and F. F stand for sharp, P stand for principal, D stand for diffuse, and F stand for fundamental. Now, how the shape of these orbitals occur? First, S orbital. That S orbital is spherical in shape. Shape of S orbital is simply spherical along x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Any axis can be noted as x, y, and z. Suppose this one is x, y, and z. Shape of S orbital is spherical. It is spherical in shape. S orbital, full form of S is the sharp. Then P stands for principal. P consists of three orbitals x, y, and z. Now, Px shape of a P orbital is actually dumbbell shape. Px, Py, and Pz. They exist in the form of dumbbell. Px x-axis के along में dumbbell form हो रहा है. Suppose this is x-axis. कोई भी axis को कोई भी नाम दे सकते हैं आप. Suppose this is x-axis. Then along x-axis there is a dumbbell. So that's why this orbital is called as Px orbital. Now see second, this one is Py orbital. Why it is Py orbital? Because the dumbbell is formed or lobe is present along the y-axis. Along y-axis. Suppose this is y-axis. Along that y-axis, their lobes are present. That means this is Py orbital. And last one is the Pz orbital. Along the z-axis, its lobe get oriented along z-axis. Or dumbbell is occur along the z-axis. That's why this is called as Pz. That means Px, Py, and Pz. ऐसे तीन हैं, इनको कंबाइन के भी अपन ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं. सी लाइक दिस x, y, z. This is Px, this one is Py, and this one is Pz. So we may show in a point diagram only Px, Py, and Pz. So shape of P orbital is dumbbell. Shape of S orbital is spherical. S stand for sharp, P for principal. Now D stand for diffuse. D orbital having double dumbbell shape. Which one? Double dumbbell, and it consists of 5 orbitals. That is x, y, y, z, x, z, x square minus y square and z square. Actually दो सेट में डिवाइड किए गए हैं. पहला एक सेट 3 का है जिसमें dxy, dyz और dxz आते हैं. ये एक अलग सेट है because their lobes are present in between the axis. जो नाम है वो एक्सिस के बीच में उनके लोब्स प्रेजेंट है. जैसे सी हियर dxy orbital, that means their lobes are present in between x and y axis. Next one is dyz, that means their lobes are present in between the y and z axis. And dxz orbital, that means their lobes are present in between x and z axis. That means these three orbitals having a different set, which is in group theory it is called as T2G orbital. T2G orbital. T2G set. Triply degenerate set of orbital. ये तीन का एक सेट फॉर्म होता है in which their lobes are present in between the axis but not along the axis. और second set जो है dx square minus y square and dz square. These orbitals having their lobes along the axis, and that's why this is the different set. In different form it is called as EG set. Doubly degenerate. T2G means triply degenerate set of orbital. EG means doubly degenerate. दो का सेट है dx square minus y square and dz square. How they are different from first set? In first set all orbitals having their lobes in between the axis, but here their lobes are present along the axis. देखो same axis है x और y, x and y. ठीक है, नाम इधर x इधर y लिखा है. Now their lobes are present along the axis. यहाँ पर क्या था? In between the axis, here along the axis. X axis, y axis, double dumbbell. ये एक ही फॉर्म में था इसलिए dumbbell. अभी दो फॉर्म में है तो double dumbbell. Shape is called as double dumbbell. The next one is dz square along the z axis. Their lobes present along the z axis. That's why this is called as dz square orbital. Shape of F orbital is very complicated. That means only 3 orbitals shapes are there. One is S orbital, spherical, then P orbital, dumbbell shape, and D orbital, double dumbbell. D में x, y and z along x axis, along y axis, along z axis dumbbell. Then D में dxy, dyz, dxz. Their lobes are present in between that axis. जो नाम है उनके बीच में उनको ड्रॉ करना है. That means they are the x, y, yz and xz. And last one is the dx square minus y square and z square. Their lobes are present, yes, along the axis, correct. So this is called as P2G set, triplet degenerate, and this is called as doubly degenerate, PG set. Okay. Formation of bond can be explained on the basis of overlapping of atomic orbitals. How these atomic orbitals get overlap with each other. And according to that, there is the formation of the bond. Strength of the bond depends on the extent of overlapping. More is the overlapping of atomic orbital, that means stronger will be the bond. That means bond strength simply depends upon the extent of overlapping. More is the overlapping, more is the strength of bond. जितना ज़्यादा overlapping है उतनी वो bond की strength ज़्यादा रहेगी. Now their overlapping depends upon the size and shape of the atomic orbital. How their size and shape are there. See here, there are on that basis two types of bonds are there. One is sigma bond, other one is pi bond. First one is the sigma bond. What is sigma bond? The bond formed by axial overlapping. Bond formed by axial overlapping. जो axial overlapping से बनता है. See here, bond formed by axial overlapping. Suppose this is one orbital, this is another orbital. They overlap along the axis. Then this type of overlapping is called as the sigma bond. Bond form along the axis. Axial overlapping से जो bond बनता है, bond formed by axial overlapping along the internuclear axis. Suppose bond is formed, then this bond is called as the sigma bond. And here more overlapping takes place. Okay, more overlapping takes place. That is, this bond is the stronger bond. Another type is the pi bond. Bond formed by lateral overlapping. Now see. Bond which is formed by lateral overlapping. Lateral overlapping. Yes, side by or lateral. This is internuclear axis, above the axis and below the axis, like this. These atomic orbitals overlap to small extent. That means there is not much overlapping takes place, and therefore this bond is a weak bond. Pi bond is the weaker bond as compared to sigma bond. Sigma bond it is formed by axial overlapping, head to head overlapping. बराबर ओवरलैपिंग होता है इनका हेड टू हेड तब जाके बनता है. therefore this bond is the stronger bond. वही another bond is formed by side wise overlapping like this. ये एक्सिस है, पहला बॉन्ड along the axis बना था. ये बॉन्ड एक्सिस के ऊपर और नीचे बनता है, above the axis and below the axis. That means less overlapping takes place, and therefore pi bond is the weak bond. That means there are two types of bond, sigma bond and pi bond. Now let us see types of overlap. There are different types of overlapping depends upon which orbitals are there. First type is SS overlapping. Name itself indicates SS overlapping. Overlapping between two S orbital is called as SS overlapping. Overlapping between two S orbital, two S atomic orbital. Best example is H2 hydrogen. ये कैसे बना है? तो hydrogen atomic number is 1, configuration is 1s1 as we have earlier seen. Configuration of hydrogen is 1s1. Only one electron is there. Triplet is not even completed. So when two hydrogen atom combines together, one having spin upward and another having spin downward, that time they get overlap to each other along the axis. This is internuclear axis. This bond get formed along the internuclear axis, and these atomic orbitals overlap up to their nucleus. Complete overlapping is not possible because there is repulsion between nucleus, and that's why this much overlapping takes place. Here spin of electron get paired and bond is formed. That means H single bond H, that means H2 molecule is formed. This bond is a sigma bond because this bond is formed along the axis. S orbital is A-shaped or spherical. Configuration of hydrogen is 1s1. Shape of S orbital, that is spherical. So spherical shape, पहला hydrogen, spherical shape, दूसरा hydrogen with opposite spin come in contact with each other. They overlap with each other along the axis, and therefore H single bond H. H single bond H. Two electrons, they get combined. One upward, another means downward, and therefore there is formation of H2 molecule. Now see second type is PP overlapping. Which one? pp overlapping. Overlapping between two p orbital. Overlapping between two p atomic orbital is called as pp overlap. Example is F2. F2 fluorine. Fluorine atomic number 9, configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. As we know, 2p5 is actually p orbital consists of 3 sets x, y, and z, and 5 electrons are there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. X and y is complete, only z is incomplete. That's why only z orbital is represented here. X और y नहीं बताया मैंने, they are complete. दो है, सिर्फ कौन सा इनकम्प्लीट है तो z. ऐसे दो f ऑर्बिटल 2pz 2pz और z में कितने इलेक्ट्रॉन है? ओनली 1. 2pz1 पहले फ्लोरीन था, दूसरे फ्लोरीन था. They get combined together along the axis again. One having upward spin, other having downward spin, and therefore their overlapping takes place, and their opposite sides will get reduced in size. See here. During overlapping, the sides of that opposite lobe get reduced, and in this way FF bond is formed. Again, this bond is formed along the internuclear axis, and therefore sigma bond is formed. Okay, which bond? Sigma bond is formed. Then last stage is the sp overlapping. Overlapping between s orbital and p atomic orbital is called as sp overlapping. Example is HF. Hydrogen, again atomic number is 1, configuration is 1s1, 1 electron is there. और second atom कौन सा है? फ्लोरीन. फ्लोरीन 1s2, 2s2, 2p5, मतलब 2px2, 2py2 and 2pz1. So that z orbital combined with this, and therefore there is a overlapping. Again this overlapping takes place along the axis. Again that is sigma bond. All bonds are sigma bond. p orbital सिग्मा बॉन्ड फॉर्म कर सकता है पहला, और सेकंड जो पॉसिबिलिटी है वो पाई बॉन्ड फॉर्म कर सकता है. सपोज वाई में नहीं है तो वो पाई बॉन्ड फॉर्म कर सकता है. कैसे? देखो पाई बॉन्ड, जैसे कि ऑक्सीजन O2 मॉलिक्यूल, ऑक्सीजन एटॉमिक नंबर इज 8, कॉन्फ़िगरेशन इज 1s2, 2s2, 2p, no 4, x, y, z according to 1, 1, 1, 1 and then tail. Now y and z both have having one electron, unpaired electron. So p orbital is there, that means shape is dumbbell shape. Like this. X, Y, Z. Will be axis to x, y, z like this. Now x orbital is filled, y orbital consists of one electron, x completely, z consists of one electron. Again suppose पहला bond form होता है along the axis, then sigma bond is there, और दूसरा जो bond form होता है that is y orbital, one electron. This is a lateral overlapping, and due to lateral overlapping there is formation of pi bond. जैसे पहला बॉन्ड सिग्मा बॉन्ड बनेगा, y का बॉन्ड सिग्मा और z का कौन सा बनेगा तो पाई बॉन्ड. फर्स्ट बॉन्ड इज सिग्मा बॉन्ड एंड सेकंड पॉसिबिलिटी इज द पाई बॉन्ड. दैट मींस दे गेट ओवरलैप laterally with each other, lateral overlapping. Like this. This one is pi, this one is sigma bond. X completely filled है, उसको अपन कंसीडर नहीं किए. Y and Z. Y का पहला along the axis और Z का जो है अभी lateral overlapping. ये upward है तो ये downward. They get overlap like sidewise, and therefore pi bond. That means oxygen, double bond oxygen is formed. Out of that one is sigma bond, other is the pi bond. सिग्मा बॉन्ड क्या है फिर? तो बॉन्ड फॉर्म बाय एक्सियल ओवरलैपिंग, एंड पाई बॉन्ड क्या है? तो बॉन्ड फॉर्म बाय लैटरल ओवरलैपिंग. सी टुडे वी हैव सीन सिग्मा एंड पाई बॉन्ड. इन शॉर्ट सिग्मा बॉन्ड क्या है? तो बॉन्ड फॉर्म बाय एक्सियल ओवरलैपिंग. पाई बॉन्ड क्या है? तो बॉन्ड फॉर्म बाय लैटरल ओवरलैपिंग. हियर मोर ओवरलैपिंग टेक्स प्लेस because head to head overlap takes place, therefore more overlapping. Here less overlapping takes place. This bond is strong bond, this bond is weak bond. Strong, weak. This bond is formed along the internuclear axis. While here this bond is formed above the internuclear axis and below the internuclear axis. Above and below, ये along. Then first bond form is a sigma bond, and pi bond is formed when sigma bond is already present. पहला bond हमेशा पहली प्रायोरिटी किसको रहेगी तो sigma bond. सिग्मा बॉन्ड बनने के बाद में अगर बचते हैं ऑर्बिटल तो देन दे ओवरलैप लैटरली और साइडवाइज एंड देन दे फॉर्म पाई बॉन्ड. दैट मींस फर्स्ट बॉन्ड इज सिग्मा बॉन्ड एंड पाई बॉन्ड इज फॉर्म्ड व्हेन सिग्मा इज ऑलरेडी एक्सिस्ट और प्रेजेंट. दिस टाइप ऑफ बॉन्ड इज फॉर्म्ड बाय SS overlapping, SP overlapping and PP overlapping, while this bond is formed by only PP overlapping. Only PP, क्योंकि P का भी X कौन सा फॉर्म करेगा तो जो ऑलरेडी फिल्ड है उसकी बात नहीं है, पर अनफिल्ड है तो पहली प्रोक्सिमिटी क्या रहेगी तो सिग्मा बॉन्ड. यस, एक्सियल. उसके बाद में कौन सा रहेगा तो लैटरल ओवरलैपिंग. मतलब दिस बॉन्ड इज फॉर्म्ड बाय PP ओवरलैपिंग, जबकि यहां पर SS, SP एंड PP. ओके.